transfer to Manchester United now.
Football predictions.
If Barbara Rangers know, Ipswich Town won.
Football predictions.
Peter Guest and the Moose here for another episode of the Bundesliga footballpredictions.net podcast covering matches from the 19th to the 20th of April 2025. And you can see all the details to the games we're about to discuss in this podcast in the description. It'll take you to footballpredictions.net pages where you can see all these games plus fixtures from just about every other football competition in the world.
Yes, and on our website, it will show you where to watch the games on local broadcast channels plus video streaming services, as well as team news and match shots from local bookmakers. Look in the description of this podcast episode for direct clickable links to all of the matches we're about to discuss. If you're streaming any matches on Bet365, geolocation and live streaming rules apply. 18 plus gambler aware.
Let's kick off with RB Leipzig, who are fourth, taking on Holstein Kiel, who are down in 18th. It's on Saturday, the 19th of April. It's at 2:30 UK time. Check the link in the description of the podcast and you'll be able to find your localized TV channels, kickoff time, odds, everything like that, including the streaming services. This one is available on Bet365 to stream. To qualify for that, all you need is funds in your account or to have placed a bet with them in the last 24 hours. Sign up with the bonus code FP365. Well, Leipzig have had a good couple of matches since not having a good couple of matches, haven't they? And Holstein Kiel not having anything.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Leipzig back on track, really. They got 3 wins from the last 4 matches in the Bundesliga now. Means they're back in the 4th spot for the Champions League qualification, or actually in Germany, the 4th spot goes to Champions League directly. But they are only 2 points above Mainz, so there's still a lot of work to do, and there's only 5 matches left, 3 points behind Frankfurt in 3rd. Last weekend, they played Wolfsburg away from home. We had it down as a both team to score prediction, and yeah, both teams certainly did score. Leipzig won that game 3-2. Game before that, and their latest home game was against Hoffenheim, where 2-1 Leipzig. It ended 3-1, so both teams to score and the outcome in that prediction. But yeah, Leipzig, prior to this little spell of 3 wins from 4, they only had 1 win from 10. So I have to correct myself there. 1 win from 9, sorry. But yeah, now they're fully back into it. They're playing a Holstein Kiel team that is pretty much doomed, but can still make the relegation playoff. They have got 4 points up to Heidenheim in 16th, but a mighty 11 points up to St. Pauli in 15th. So clear survival is probably out of the picture, but they could possibly still sneak into that relegation playoff. The only problem that Holstein Kiel has is that they are conceding a lot of goals, and they've conceded a lot this season. They are the team in the Bundesliga who have conceded the most, nearly an average of 2.5 goals per game last weekend. And that was a key game if they were to avoid relegation altogether, or even the playoff, because they had a home game to St. Pauli. And St. Pauli now 11 points ahead of Holstein Kiel because St. Pauli ended up winning that game. But guess what? The outcome prediction here on Football Predictions was a St. Pauli win in that game. It also takes Holstein Kiel now to 5 games without a win and just 1 win from their last 12 matches. Away from home, just 1 win all season. That happened at Union Berlin. That's also the latest win for Holstein Kiel. But in general, away from home, Holstein Kiel is shipping a lot of goals every single game. Apart from that Union Berlin game, away game. So every single away game, for Holstein Kiel this season has ended with both teams to score. So Holstein Kiel, despite not picking up any wins, are still scoring goals away from home. But yeah, against Union Berlin, that was the only game this season. They won away from home, managed to pick up the point. Now, against Leipzig, that's going to be a very tricky test. Leipzig, I'm sure, will be all over Holstein Kiel because another win and a step closer to the Champions League for them, possibly.
Yeah, I think you're right. They're doomed, aren't they? And, this one is probably going to be one-way traffic, let's face it. We've actually gone for over 2.5 goals tip for this one. Odds you can get there 1.4. And for a full-time result prediction, we have gone for a kind of a hefty RB Leipzig win at the Red Bull Arena. It's for a Red Bull RB Leipzig win, you can only get 1.33, so not even as good as the over market there. However, we've gone for maybe something of a bit more of interest. 3-0 is what we're predicting, and the odds for a correct score prediction for that is 9.5. Looking at the other odds, it's Holstein Kiel are way out at 8. If you really did fancy a crazy one, then you would go for that. But a draw, 5.75. And like I said, RB Leipzig down 1.33 for the victory, which is what we think will happen in this game. So 3-0 to the home side. Next up, we've got Heidenheim in 16th. Another mismatch. They're up against Bayern Munich, who are top of the league. And this one's on Saturday, the 19th of April, 2:30 p.m. Click the link in the description of this podcast and you'll be able to see your local kickoff time, odds, streaming options available. You can watch this one on Bet365 live streamed. To qualify for that, all you need is funds in your account, just anything, or to have placed a bet with them in the last 24 hours. And when you join, do use the bonus code FP365. Well, it's an interesting one. Heidenheim were looking to have turned the corner a bit, but they've fallen back into bad ways. But Bayern themselves, they'll be a bit sore after falling out of the Champions League. Will they be looking to avenge that with a win?
Bayern Munich still has some work to do in the Bundesliga if they want to win it, although they are 6 points ahead of Bayer Leverkusen now with just 5 matches to go. So it looks like it's going their way. But Heidenheim is fighting at the bottom of the league and they are still in need of points here in order to avoid the drop altogether. They are most likely going to finish in 16th, which is that spot for the relegation playoff against the second Bundesliga team that will finish 3rd. Now, Heidenheim, they have run into a few defeats of late, but they have played some strong opponents. They played Bayer Leverkusen and Eintracht Frankfurt, both in 2nd and 3rd in the Bundesliga. Both turned into defeat. Both were outcome predictions that we had correct here on Football Predictions. Now they're playing Bayern, who is first. So I think this little sequence of games probably couldn't have come at a worse time for Heidenheim to play the top 3 within 3 matches. That's pretty unfortunate. Heidenheim overall, though, when we do look at their form, they had picked up a few wins because they beat Holstein Kiel and Wolfsburg before the Frankfurt and Leverkusen game. And they do tend to have a goal in them, although they've not scored in the last 2 games against the top sides. Now, for Bayern Munich, like you said, you got to be a bit sore because they are out of the Champions League, got knocked out by Inter Milan midweek. They went to Inter Milan. We had a score draw in that game. It ended, as it has to be said. And then last weekend, we had both teams to score in the game against Dortmund, always guaranteed entertainment when those two are playing, and it ended 2-2. So lots of goals there. And in general, when we do see Bayern play, the last 6 games now in the Bundesliga have ended with both teams to score. And also Bayern a little bit shaky. They have 3 wins, 2 draws, and a defeat from their last 6 games. So it's not all that convincing for Bayern. Now, going into this game, though, Bayern, no, they only have now the Bundesliga to play for because they are also out of the DFB Pokal. So really, this is the only trophy that they can win this season. And what do we think is going to happen?
Harry Kane must be thinking, not again, because it happened last year. Yeah, but then again, they were trailing for most of the year, weren't they, in the championship? But yeah, the Champions League is gone. DFB Pokal is gone. There's only the league. They've got to win it, surely. Anyway, let's come to our predictions. We have actually, for this one, to make them even a bit more nervous, we've gone for both teams to score 0.75. That's probably the best value you'll get for this game, we think. They're the odds, 1.75, both teams scoring. But for a full-time result prediction, we have opted, of course, for Bayern Munich for the away win. Odds there, 1.29. And for the correct score, we've gone for Bayern to win 2-1. Top odds for the match at the moment, anyway. Heidenheim you can get for 9. A draw is 6. These are all decimal odds. And Bayern Munich to win, like I said, 1.29. Let's see how that one ends up. But for a correct score of 2-1, or 1 Heidenheim to Munich, it's odds of 9.5. That's what you can get at Bet365 at the moment, like we said before. Sign up using the bonus code FP365 if you're not with them already. Moving on to Werder Bremen, who are 9th, taking on VfL Bochum, who are 17th. And this one's on Saturday, the 19th of April, 2:30 UK time. Click the link in the description of this podcast and you can see your localized kickoff times, odds, and streaming options. This one you can stream on Bet365 again. To qualify for that, all you need is funds in your account or to have placed a bet with them in the last 24 hours. Use the bonus code FP365 when you sign up. So Werder Bremen have actually been having some great results. Well, they won 4 out of the last 5, whereas Bochum, it's like an opposite story, isn't it?
Yeah, Werder Bremen's had a good little spell there because they did have a sequence, just come back after that Christmas break, just 1 win from 9 matches. But then they went to Leverkusen and beat them 2-0. So these are not any teams that Werder Bremen has beaten, because they went to Leverkusen, beat them 2-0. They then beat Holstein Kiel away. They beat Frankfurt at home, and then they beat Stuttgart away. So that's 2 of the top 3 teams included in these 4 wins from 5 now for Werder Bremen. So they are looking to finish the season very strong. Now, can they make Europe? That's the big question. Possibly. They only have 3 points up to Freiburg in 6th, but there is a lot of teams in between. You got Borussia Mönchengladbach, Borussia Dortmund, Augsburg, and then Werder Bremen there on 42 points. There's a lot of teams who could finish in that top 6, which are European spots. Mine's only on 46 points. So the last 5 matches is going to be really interesting if Werder Bremen can keep this trajectory. And they have quite an interesting schedule as well. So after the last 5 matches, they're playing Bochum, St. Pauli, and Heidenheim. So that's 3 of the bottom 4 teams in the Bundesliga. 2 of them are at home. So Werder Bremen will definitely be looking at this schedule, eyeing up some points, starting with, if we look at some of the predictions last weekend at Stuttgart, we had both teams to score prediction and the 2-1 to Werder Bremen. On the Bochum side, they played Augsburg last week, and really it was last port of call in terms of them picking up some points to avoid relegation. They are still only 4 points off Heidenheim for the relegation playoff. That's where they finished last season, and somehow managed to turn over a 3-0 deficit to Fortuna Düsseldorf in that playoff away from home and stay in the Bundesliga. But this season, it does look like they may not make it. They've now lost 4 Bundesliga games in a row after that sensational win at Bayern Munich, where actually our main prediction was both teams to score. So that went in. Bochum won that one 3-2. We won't talk about the outcome prediction for that one. But yeah, 5 defeats from the last 6 now for Bochum, 4 defeats in a row, and they've conceded 12 goals along the way over those last 4 games. So that's 3 goals on average. So it's not looking good for Bochum at Werder Bremen.
Yes, we think this could be a fairly one-sided affair, given what you've just said, and could be a bit of a goal fest. We'll see, but we've gone for an over 2.5 goals tip for this game. Odds, you can only get 1.57, but that's what we think is probably the best thing to go for. It could be closer than a lot of people think, but we have gone for a Werder Bremen win. Odds up at 1.73, so they are odds on to win it with the bookies. And correct score, well, we've gone for another 3-0, and very good odds on this one, 14 to 1 for a 3-0 correct score prediction. Top odds for the game, you can get, like I said, Bremen at 1.73, a draw, 4.1. That might be something interesting. And a Bochum win at 4.33. So we're favouring the home side to get a fairly comprehensive victory. Let's hope it goes according to our plan. Next up, we've got Freiburg in 6th, taking on Hoffenheim in 14th. It's on Saturday, the 19th of April, 2:30 UK time kickoff. Click the link in the description of this podcast, and it'll take you to footballpredictions.net, where you can find your local kickoff time, betting odds, and broadcast streaming channels. You can watch it on Bet365, of course. Use the bonus code FP365 if you're new to them. And then after that, all you need to qualify to watch is any funds in your account. Could be £1, €1, $1, or to have placed a bet with them in the last 24 hours. So you don't need much to be able to watch it on there. Moose, the old Freiburg train has actually registered a win after a long time without one.
Yeah, they had 5 matches in the Bundesliga without a win before last weekend, traveling to Borussia Mönchengladbach. They looked like a draw for a long time. It was 1-1 after 16 minutes. But then right at the end, in injury time, Freiburg scored and won the game 2-1. But yeah, prior to that, no wins in 5. Freiburg did at one point have a very impressive spell with 6 clean sheets in a row. But over the last 4 matches, they have conceded in all of them. But yeah, they do have a strong defense. Like in terms of our predictions, we do tend to have gone low scoring on Freiburg, and we have had a fair few of those draw predictions as well. We had them at Augsburg on a draw, at home to Leipzig on a draw, and then we've had a couple of outcomes over the last 6 matches on Freiburg. But yeah, please take note of the defense before we move on to Hoffenheim, and there might be a little clue for the prediction later. Hoffenheim is going into this game with a very mixed bag of results. They have 2 wins, 2 draws, and 2 defeats over the last 6 matches. But they do have quite an impressive win in the last game. That was at home to Mainz. They beat Mainz 2-0. And the thing is, Mainz really fighting for those Champions League spots. Probably the first time you'll ever finish in a Champions League position. But it seems like they're buckling a little bit under the pressure. There's only 5 matches left. They still got a good chance. Hoffenheim, on the other hand, still kind of wanting to move away from that relegation playoff spot. They're now 8 points ahead, 5 games to go. They look fairly safe. So not a lot of pressure on Hoffenheim in this game. But away from home, Hoffenheim also very mixed. They have 3 wins from the last 6, but they do have 2 defeats from the last 2, and they lost 3-1 most recently away to Leipzig, with both teams to score and Leipzig to win that game. We also had St. Pauli to beat Hoffenheim when they went there as our outcome prediction. So yeah, Hoffenheim away, very mixed bag. Don't know really who's going to turn up, but has to also be said that of those 3 wins they have away from home all season, 2 of them are against the bottom 2. So not the strongest away side, sorry.
Yeah. And these fixtures tend to kind of go one way, and that's the way of Freiburg most of the time. They probably will turn the corner, or keep the corner that they've turned, I think. Being at home, they are very good there. In fact, they're unbeaten in the league by Hoffenheim in their last 6 matches. However, they haven't actually won at home in the last 3 league matches, have they, Freiburg? So, but yeah, we think they will get the win. But our tip for this one is actually under 2.5 goals. We think it'll be a tight one. And the odds there you can get currently at 2.1. A full-time result prediction, though, as I mentioned, is Freiburg to win. Odds are not that dissimilar to those. 1.91 you can get for a home win for Freiburg in this game. And for a correct score, we think it's going to be just the 1 goal that wins it. 1-0 we've gone for. Odds for a correct score prediction there. Currently, the bookmakers, Bet365 have the best odds for this at 8.5. That'll be your returns. Other odds, Hoffenheim are out at 3.75 for the win. A draw, 3.7. But like I said, Freiburg best priced at 1.91 at the moment. So let's see how that one pans out. To our summary games, we've got Mainz in 5th, taking on Wolfsburg in 12th. Another one you can watch on Bet365. To qualify for that, all you need is funds in your account or to have placed a bet with them in the last 24 hours. Use the bonus code FP365 when you sign up. For this one, we think it could be a bit tighter than the positions on the table suggest. We've gone for a home win. We think it's going to be both teams to score. We've gone for a correct score prediction of Mainz 2, Wolfsburg 1.
Yeah, moving on to the late Saturday kickoff game. So Saturday, 19th of April at 5:30 UK time, we've got Union Berlin in 13th, takes on Stuttgart in 11th. This is another game you can watch live on Bet365. And in order to qualify, all you need is to have a funded account or to have placed a bet in the last 24 hours. Use bonus code FP365 on sign up. If you're based in the UK, it's also live on Sky Sports Football. Now, for this game, we are going to go with a narrow away win and a low scoring game, but we're going to go under 2.5 goals. Stuttgart win, and a current score prediction of Union Berlin 0, Stuttgart 1.
Moving on to Sunday, we've got Augsburg in 10th, taking on Frankfurt in 3rd. It's Sunday the 20th of April, 2:30 p.m. UK time kickoff. You can stream it on Bet365 as well. This one's also on Sky Sports Football in the UK anyway. But if you want to watch on 365, all you need is funds in your account or to have placed a bet with them in the last 24 hours using the bonus code FP365 when you sign up. Should be a fascinating game, this one, because both teams have not really lost many games of late. But we've gone for something which we think they might cancel each other out. We've gone for both teams to score as our tip with a draw and the correct score prediction of 1-1.
Yeah, moving on to Borussia Dortmund in 8th. It takes on Borussia Mönchengladbach in 7th. This game kicks off Sunday, 20th of April at 4:30 UK time. Another game you can watch on Bet365. And in order to qualify, all you need is to have a funded account or to have placed a bet in the last 24 hours. And when you do use that bonus code FP for sign up. This game is also live on Sky Sports Football if you're based in the UK. Now, for this game, we are going to go with a Dortmund win, but our main prediction is both teams to score, as our current score prediction is Borussia Dortmund.
Well said. The last one we've got is St. Pauli in 15th, take on Bayer Leverkusen up in 2nd. It's on Sunday, the 20th of April, 6:30 UK time kickoff. And for this one, we have gone for another tight game. We think it'll be an away win. We've gone for both teams to score as our tip. We've gone for a correct score prediction of St. Pauli 1, Bayer Leverkusen 2. And just a reminder, that one's also streamable on Bet365. Use the bonus code FP365 during sign up. To qualify, all you need is to have placed a bet with them in the last 24 hours or have a funded account. Geolocation and live streaming rules apply. Full details are available on the Bet365 website. 18+ gamble aware.
Yeah, and in the description section of this podcast, you can see links to the fixtures we've just covered, or simply head to footballpredictions.net. Once you're there, you can browse the online places to watch the games from your location via streaming and TV channels, our predictions for different betting markets, team news, as well as the best offers and odds.
You may be interested to know that we record football podcasts for additional competitions as well as Bundesliga, and you can listen to them at podcast.footballpredictions.net, or where you usually access your podcasts from, like Apple, YouTube, Spotify. That's it. Thanks for listening. And until the next one, it is.
Cheers.
Auf Wiedersehen.
A football prediction.